Hello. Welcome to another video from 10x Investor Education. So today the stock I'm going to talk about is known as United Microelectronics. The symbol is UMC. So I will tell you the reason why I picked this stock and why I have been buying recently this stock on down when the stock is down. So United Microelectronics, they are one of the biggest semi foundry in the world after Taiwan Semiconductor Samsung. So let me show you why I like this company. First of all, I used to own this company since it was $4 5. I sold several hundred stocks, covered calls at $10, and nobody expected the semi shortage or the momentum for semi fabrication industry so much. The stock has been hitting almost new high every month. So anybody, people, when you talk about foundry, people know Taiwan Semiconductor and everybody's favorite that company is. The symbol is TSMC. I'll compare between UMC and Taiwan Semiconductor. So if you look at 1 month, 3 month, and 1 year returns, for example, Taiwan Semiconductor return is around 130% in a year, versus UMC return is more than 300%. The reason why I chose EMC for last few months is because it was $4 5 stock and it was hitting new highs, and also it will give me a lot of options because of the low price stock. It will give me a lot of options to do covered calls and sell puts. And also what happened is it also gives me dividend, and also p/e is less compared to Taiwan Semiconductor. So I know this is not a hard foundry company, but it doesn't matter because the shortage of semis. This is kind of in a hot company these days. These kind of companies are hot companies these days because the shortage of semis is hitting more than 150 industries, and it's causing global shortage, not just US or China. It's like affecting all, most of the auto sector and a lot of even construction sector also it's affecting. I'll show you. And the people are struggling, and the company actually known as Global Foundries, which is actually divestiture from AMD, which manufactures for AMD. Other companies such as Qualcomm is actually thinking of going to public next year sometime. So, and also Intel, which is starting investing close to $2 billion and starting their own foundry in US. So this tells you how much demand is going to be in actually the semi manufacturing and foundries. That is the reason why I believe a lot of people needs to be investing into this market. So this is not an advice to buy UMC at these prices. UMC is going to announce their quarter results this week, and I'll keep an eye on the price. And there is a huge rumor that they are going to increase their costs of manufacturing, and basically that, by 10%, almost 10%. So there is a high chance that they will exceed the quarter results this quarter and going to give a good estimate on next couple of quarters and rest of the year. By any chance, if the price going to go drop by 10-15% after the quarter results, I'm going to add more UMC. So keep an eye on the quarter results. This is not an advice to buy the stock. Please consult your own investment advisor to buy the stock, because I'm not an investment advisor. But this is purely how I'm trading the stock at this stage. Please, please click the like button and subscribe. You are first time here, and I will show you why I'm interested in buying the stock in a minute. UMC. So is a global leader foundry. The company provides high quality IC production with a high focus on logic specialty technologies. So each foundry company is just their own techniques to manufacture these semis. So they operate around 12 fabs, mostly in Asia, and they are offices with Taiwan, China, United States, Europe, Japan, Korea, and Singapore. As you can see here, 2020 revenues is a $6.2 billion. And also it is in 40 years of business. So this is not like unlike a SPAC. This is a solid company with solid revenues, a solid profits, and a decent growth. So if you look at here, this is the company I'm talking about. Historical volatility is 62%, which is still a little bit volatile company. And then if you look at P by E is 25. And if you look at compared to Taiwan Semiconductor, this is cheaper. And also it's around 2%. It used to offer around 3% with this price in share. That the dividend went down to a close to 2% dividend. Okay, so if you compare, across different top 10 semiconductor fabs, so as I said, Taiwan TSMC is the biggest one. Then I think Global Foundries is coming to close, and they are spun off from AMD. They actually manufacture for a lot of companies, including AMD, Qualcomm, STM, and Broadcom. Next comes UMC. So if you look at the price of the UMC on 1 year, right? As I said, I was owning the stock like from almost $4, and I have sold several hundred stocks at $8 and $10. But because of the shortage of chips and semis, the stock price momentum keep going, and it is now hitting new highs almost every month. So if you compare it to, as I said, I still own close to 800 stocks at decent 40% profit. I still get dividend and covered calls on it. And if you look at here, 1 month chart is went up by 30%, and 1 year of UMC close to 310%. So compare with same Taiwan Semiconductor, 1 month return is 7% and 1 year return is 125%. So a lot of people know only when semi foundry, they know Taiwan Semiconductor. Very few people know UMC. So the reason why, as I said before, why UMC is, I like it because of this price range and the profit, and also not that expensive. So that's the reason why I have been owning this stock for a long time and long time holder. So I still keep selling covered calls at a very high price, $17.5, to get some 10-15% premium on downward protection, but still I'm strong on long term for this stock. So there are two articles suggesting. So the stock went up by close to 10% last Friday. So why going up? Basically saying United Microelectronics shares are trading higher potentially amid recent reports that the company is planning to raising prices due to chip shortage. And this is a Beijing article. And if you look at Seeking Alpha also, so Taiwan-based reports that UMC is basically raising the prices. So it's raising prices by 10 to 20%. That is a huge amount, because usually this is a heavy investment industry. You have factories worth billions of dollars, and the margins are thin. So they don't make ton of money. But when they increase by this much percentage, that is a lot of growth for their quarters. And not just these two articles. If you look at a recent IBD, Investors Business Daily article also as well. So Investors Business Daily ranks UMC has 92% composite rating and ends #1 rank among its peers, including Carvo, Amcor, and Chipmos Technologies. So being IBD top 10, top 1 in an industry, actually that's what I look for. And this is a lot of good news coming for UMC. And as I said, I still own tons of stock of UMC. And then this is basically showing recent article again from Sunday. 169 industries are being hit by global chip shortage. So if you people don't know or not, if you have invested, for example, HP company, so the stock is up by 150% in a year. That purely because lot of demand for personal computers. So not just personal computers, every industry is shortage right now in global chips. Okay, so if you go to hp.com, try to provide new computer, a lot of PCs are out of stock, or they're shipping in May or June. So that tells you how bad this is. And it's not just chip or auto sector, almost like every industry, including ready to mix, steel, and every refrigerated breweries, every industry is following through this chip crisis, and this will continue for at least multiple quarters. That's what it's calling as largest US chip foundry expense by semiconductor shortage could last through 2022, and actually the third largest foundry, global foundries after UMC, planning to invest 1.4 billion in the foundries. So not just Intel investing $2 billion on their own foundry in US, global foundries also putting a lot of money, and also an IPO doing 2022. Anytime any industry trying to new companies coming into an IPO or companies pumping into money, which means there is a demand, there is a good news for an existing companies. And in general, I look at how institutions are buying for UMC stock. This is UMC stock from Quintel ownership, and as you can see here, this is just April 2023, and as you can see here, several companies actually disclosed their positions. And for example, if you look at here, so Schwab 14 point close to 15 million, and another fund of Schwab close to 16 million. So several companies own millions of this stock. And if you look at this particular thing that I was talking about, so this is Schwab increases by 4.89%, and the whole, for example, that represents change in 4.9% and a 44% increase during this quarter. So basically, just this particular ETF of Schwab increased the UMC stock holdings by 44% in a year. So this is just a day, and if you look at multiple days in April, there is huge institutions accumulation is going on in the stock. So this is my multiple reasons why I like this stock. First of all, being this is one of the chip shortage, and this keep hitting. And the way I usually try to play this stock is I wait for the quarter results, and if there is any downtown 10 to 15%, then I add more to my position of current holdings. Certainly, I'm not selling the stock anytime close. My cover calls, some of them are at $15 or $17. So I'm long term for this. I like the way I get the cover premium and dividend and a lot of things and the demand. So I think this is one of the sector I really like it. What do you think about UMC? Please let me know. Please click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're first time here, and see you on my next video. Thank you.